All right, jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your stupid, stinking host, Libretti. Hope everybody had a good week. I did. It's been busy. Been getting ready for some family to come visit. My niece and nephew are going to come by. By the time this comes out, they'll already be destroying the house, and I'll be, living in squalor once again. But it'll be a good time. I'm excited to see them. So hope everybody had an enjoyable week, something similar to that. They got to see some family, some friends, share some laughs, some how you doings, whatever. If not, hopefully you get it here, because you got to get that shit somewhere. You got to get that sweet release, of the stress of the week, of your job, of maybe your shitty life. You got to find something to release all that tension and anger before you do something bad. So hopefully you got that somehow, and hopefully it's here. If it's nowhere else, hopefully it's here. Hopefully we could do that and, share those laughs and teach a couple lessons here and there. But anyway, really quick, because I didn't mention it the last episode, the guest interview with Bone Crusher, who was nice enough to join us again. I want to put on a tinfoil hat real quick, because I want to keep providing updates for people. And this is information updates, okay? Opinions aside, information updates. The Ukraine aid bill, the $40 billion bill that the Congress and the Senate have been trying to sneak right under our noses without talking about it, without debating it, without reading it, anything like that. The media silent on it, of course, naturally. I wanted to make mention that, and I read through some of the highlights, the important things, really trying to add up the money. Where is it all going, and where is it coming from, okay? Of the $40 billion, so this is $40 billion, okay? That's what, 40,000 million? Is that the math there? I'm not a good math guy. I'm not a math guy at all. But I think it's 40,000 billion. Let me make sure. 1,000 million is 1 billion. 40,000 million is 40 billion. Okay. Of that 40 billion, roughly 20 billion. So it's almost half. It's not quite half if you look at the actual numbers. It's about 49%. So roughly half of the bill, though it's titled and has been called the Ukraine aid bill. Okay? 20 billion of that has been allocated in different ways back to the U.S. government, more particularly the Department of Defense, the military. And it's sliced off into different procurement bins. To the Army, Air Force, it just says defenses, intelligence agencies, other government agencies, and the procurement bins are generally mostly a very general, like this money is allocated, $13 billion is allocated for new equipment and technology procurement for the Army or the military, whatever it is. That's all it is procured for. So this pot of money is now sitting there for the military to use. As long as they could justify it's for new equipment, they can spend that money. $13 billion, whatever it is. It's $20 billion of that is for procurement of some sort of equipment, technology, weapons, defense, aircraft vehicles, back to the U.S. government. So they signed a bill to give themselves another pot of $20 billion. Okay? Now, what else does this mean? Why would the government need to spend all much more money, $20 more billion on equipment? If they're the military, they should have their own, right? Well, a little education on how that works. The military, if ever anymore, builds their own shit. They contract it out. They bid out contracts for aircraft and weapon systems and technologies and how you doings. And the private contractors the Raytheons, the Boeings, the Lockheed Martins, the what have yous. I forgot who else. Name a government contract entity like that. They'll put in bids to get that contract to build that piece of equipment or that sell that weapon or whatever. These are the same companies that are putting Congress and senators in their seats by getting them the votes they need. So it's a circle of payment back and forth. I pay you with votes, you pay me back with money, and you stay in power and we stay in profit. And the world goes round and round and round. This is where I kind of get, I'm spinning off of facts now and getting more into the opinion of it all. So I apologize. I did spin off a little bit. I didn't mention it earlier, but now opinion based. This is what I believe to be happening. Okay? There's no reason why they need to sign. They just got the biggest defense budget since before Emperor Trump signed a giant defense budget, a DoD budget. And they're just tacking on another $20 billion. It's almost double the previous budget. Maybe it's not double. Maybe it's less because they get a lot of money. But regardless, another $20 billion sneakily sent back to the U.S. government. And then I did some more digging to try to find out where the money's coming from. And I got news for you, okay? I put the magnifying glass to the test. I did a little Sherlock Holmesing action. And it doesn't say where the money's coming from. Because the money's coming from us. The taxpayer. Or they're going to print money. Which what happens? They print money. They obligate it to their little corrupt bills and stuff. And then to get out of the debt that they created for themselves, they use that as justification to raise taxes. Oh, we need more money for your entitlements that we're trying to take care of you with. So here, pay your fair share. Pay your fair share. Meanwhile, these bastards are spending in hand over fist on bullshittery and lying about it, saying it's for the Ukraine aid. How do you have a $40 billion bill and then half of it doesn't even go to the people it's supposed to? It goes back in your own pockets somehow. That's wild. Meanwhile, Congress and the Senate are building Peloton gyms and liquor bars and all this shit in Capitol Hill for themselves, all on taxpayer money. And we're sitting here with our thumbs up our asses, our tails between our legs, and we're fighting about something that's not even real because whatever the media is telling us to fight about and be divisive about. Really, when we should be coming together against these crooks. These people who are stealing money right from our paychecks and our pockets. And of the food from the babies' mouths, literally, with the baby formula shortages. They send $20 billion to Ukraine. Meanwhile, they got these shortages because of the different restrictions they're putting in place. And don't get me started on that. It's a whole other rabbit hole of tinfoil hattery to go down that. With the baby formula monopolies and the companies that also happen to make the most popular COVID home tests these days are also top tier in the baby formula market. We're not talking about that. We're going to move on, okay? We're going to move on, onward and upward, whatever they say, okay? We're going to have a good time today. We're going to talk about some fan feedback. We're going to try out the new hotline. I got a couple hotline calls. We're going to have a good time. We're going to de-stress and be happy, all right? And with that, we'll step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Anthony Rigatoni's pre-death cremation services. We all have that one sick old geriatric in the family that is just suffering mercilessly in their final years and is looking for that sweet release of death so they don't have to sit there all lonely, cold, and rotting from the inside, all while still being alive. Well, now they don't have to suffer if they call Anthony's PDCS. You see, Anthony helps these old bags not be in pain anymore and not delay the inevitable by giving them that warm, sweet release in the form of a cozy cremation. So to do your old-ass relatives a service today, call 1-800-FIRE-GUY and use the promo code Kevorkian for 2.9% off your PDCS by Tony and Friends. Tony Rigatoni is getting awfully ambitious and aggressive with the sponsoring, with the addery, if you will. Frankly, he's starting to monopolize my time getting these ads, and I'm not getting no return on investment here, so we're going to have to put a stop to Tony Riggs and Friends before he gets out of hand. But meanwhile, if you have a suffering old bag in your life, I put them to pasture the way they want to be put out. Don't let them sit there and rot any further. They're miserable. They're grouchy. They're festering in the piles of their own shit, diapers. Let them know there's options. There is a way out. And it's fast, and it's comfortable, and it's affordable. So, all right, Cage fact. During the movie, what the hell is it called? Kick-Ass. I was going to say Big Daddy, but Kick-Ass, Nic Cage played the part of Big Daddy. It was actually a good movie. In fact, this is a very rookie mistake. One of the few rookie mistakes I make when it comes to Nic Cage. I saw the movie not remembering that Nic Cage was in the movie. I just wanted to see Kick-Ass that day, and I saw it, and then I was like, oh, shit, the great one's in. I completely forgot. So it was a rookie mistake. Again, we try to we're trying to make it okay again to admit fault and admit when your shortcomings, to become better person, to be transparent with people in your lives, and to become better. The only way you can get better at life is to know where you're falling short. Okay? And I fall short a lot. I grew up short. I'm still short. I got the Oscar Schlotters to prove it. So I have no problem admitting or trying to admit and be that, introspective self, admitting when I'm wrong. And that was one of the times when I made a grave mistake and I forgot about old Nic Cage being Big Daddy and Kick-Ass. So anyway, he plays Big Daddy. The fact is actually that he channeled, or he tried to channel, his inner Adam West. And Adam West is an actor who played the OG Batman on the animated, not animated series, but Batman the series back in the day, where they wore the weird tights and they had the kapows and the how you doings and the what have yous. That was Adam West. He was the OG Batman, and he was iconic in that role. And Nic Cage said that his version, he tried to channel that as Big Daddy in Kick-Ass, and he said his role began and ended with Adam West channeling him. That's where he got it from. It was all stemmed from that. And then he even actually talked to Adam West before he died, before Adam West died, not Nic Cage. He's still alive, obviously. He talked to him and said, "Hey, did you see the movie? I channeled you in my role." And Adam West made a joke, and he said, "Yeah, I saw you try to channel me in your role." And they shared a few laughs and a couple ha-has, and went about their business as Hollywood elite of the day. So that's it. That's the Cage fact. We'll move it right along. We're going to keep this business-oriented here, and we'll spin the Junction logo up. And we're going to get into a question I posed to the greater good back, earlier in the week. It was things that we do or say now as adults simply because we saw our parents doing it when we were kids and we picked up on it, and we don't know the reason behind why they do or say that stuff. It's just, instinct. They did it. Easy, Randy. Easy, buddy. Hold on, folks. All right, had to take care of Randy business there for a second, so I apologize. Do I make you Randy, baby? All right, anyway. So, yeah, stuff we do. We don't know why we do. We just picked it up as a kid because our parents did it or said it, and now we still do. We keep the tradition alive, whatever it might be. And I wanted to bring this up because it's fun to think about. There's, you do a lot of stuff there's no rhyme or reason to, but it also allows us to do what we always try to do here in the Junction and the LPDS universe is take that step back, again, be introspective, and try to find out, find the why behind what's going on there. See if we can identify it, and if we can't, maybe see if we should keep doing this thing or saying this thing, or if it's time to abort mission, if you will, for lack of a better term. So we'll get into some of the fan feedback here. I gotta pop the notes up and see what we got going on here. But this person right here said that, oh, this is my sister. All right, so my sister submitted, which is nice of her, because I know she's very busy with the kids. She never really has time to submit that stuff, so thank you for that. She said that, and this is funny because I can relate. When driving in your car at night, the inside lights in the vehicle stay off. And if they go on for even a split second, you could crash and all die. And that was what our father, JPL3, would tell us, that if we turned the light on inside the vehicle, it'd be death. Imminent death for all of us. Now, if you step back and think about the actual reasons behind some of that stuff, it sort of makes sense. If you turn on the inside lights inside a vehicle at night, it is tougher to see outside. Absolutely correct. Will there be imminent death? I think that's debatable. But again, if you have kids of your own and you really want to make sure that they listen and they don't turn that damn light on, you'll probably take that same route and let them know that imminent death is on the horizon if they turn that damn light on. So I get why they're still doing it. It's really not going to cause death. It's going to cause a little bit of an inconvenience, and then you can just yell at their kids or whoever turned the light on, or politely ask them to if you're a beta, and kind of move on from there. So thank you for your submission again. I know it's tough to submit. You're a busy gal. You got a full-time job. You got full-time mom, full-time wife, all the how you doings of that sort of lifestyle, so I get it. So thank you for that. You're a sweet, sweet gal. Right, Randy? Right, buddy? All right, moving right along here. What's the next one here? We got, all right, this gal right here said that her mom's, when they were kids, her mom would always say, I guess still does, my teeth feel like they have sweaters on them after every time they ate something sweet. So like cake, desserts, ice creams, assorted, treats, if you will, anything sweet. That's what her mom would say. And now she says it as an adult as well, and doesn't know that's the only reason why she says it, because her mom said it. It's sort of like a family thing now. They all say that, they all understand what that means. Like, I had something sweet, my teeth are like sweaters. Got it, fine, whatever. Let's take the step back here. Let's figure out what the hell that means. Short answer is I don't know. I don't friggin' know what that means. Maybe the term sweaters is like, it's just a different, like, she's trying to allude to she ate something sweet, so instead of saying sweeters, they said sweaters. I don't know. I'm racking my brain to figure out what it means. I'm also an idiot, a self-proclaimed idiot, so maybe somebody has a better answer. And if you do, pop it in the comments on the YouTube. Hit me up in the Instagrams. Call the hotline. Give me the update. Whatever you got to do. 202-670-1114 is the hotline number again. But let me know, because all I can think of is that stupid explanation that it might be because it's sort of related to sweet sweet and sweaters, sweaters, I don't know. Otherwise, that saying doesn't make one bit of sense to me. Wearing sweaters? Like, are they cold? Maybe she's talking about because she was eating ice cream and they're cold and she needs to warm them up. I don't know. Regardless, it is harmless. The bottom line is the saying is harmless. It doesn't offend anybody. It's not derogatory or discriminatory towards anybody. So I say keep on saying it. Keep the tradition alive. You guys you'll share, be able to share those laughs and those memories with your family, knowing that you're keeping a very stupid saying alive. And this is a girl here who has an affinity for male felines, so maybe that explains a little bit of what's going on in her brain. But I'm sure she's a hardworking gal, a sweet gal, someone who appreciates, data and winning and other things like that. So thank you for your submission. I appreciate it. All right, moving on over down the list here. We got a guy right here who says that he has a taste for gummy bears or gummies, gummy worms, gummies, candy, because his father crushed them when he was a kid, and he still crushes them now as an adult. And I've seen it happen. This guy will use any excuse to go crush a bag of gummy bears or gummy worms or what have yous. We'll be watching a Giants football game. It could be the Super Bowl, fourth quarter, 2-minute drill, and Eli Manning's got the ball trying to win a game, and he'll go step outside because he left his gummies in the car. And he's an addict. If I were to venture a guess, I say he's an addict to gummies, addicted to gummies. And now his son almost is. And there's no rhyme or reason why. We all know sugar is more addictive than anything else that we eat or take in, more so than even cocaine, or cheese as they call it in the cocaine world. But he's addicted to gummy bears, gummy worms, gummy how you doings, whatever. And it started because of his father. Now, when it comes to addiction, that's the why. You got that taste, and now you're trying to get that every time now. Because that's what sugar does. That's what nicotine does, booze, things, all that stuff. When you get a good dopamine hit from something, you associate that something, that one thing, with that good feeling, and you want it all the time. And that's what happened with this fella. And, he does a lot of working out. He spends his time, pulverizing a lot of bones and marrows and stuff like that. So it's a lot of manual labor, tough stuff. So he's burning the calories. So he can afford a gummy worm here or there, or a shoelace or whatever they call them, a red vine. Maybe it's a red vine. That's what it is. I used to have those as a kid too, back in the day at the movie theater. All right, thank you for your submission. Moving on. This guy over here. This is something. You can't argue. This guy said that he is super pale and burns easily because of his mother, because his mom does as well. And he saw her do it as a kid, and now he does it as an adult. And there is no why behind that. She's not doing anything wrong. She wasn't, a drug addict to where she became pale, and now he has to be pale too. Nothing. He's just trying to be like his mother, and I respect that, and it's not hurting anybody but himself. So, good on you, man. Stay strong. All right, what do we got here? Okay, so this gal. All right, I'm going to go in reverse order of the submission here. So, she sent a couple. So, one thing she said that her mom, as a child, would call a dish rag, those little dishcloths that you dry dishes and how you doings with in the kitchen. She would call that a mopine. And I don't know how to spell that. I don't know if that derived from an Italian word for dish rag, and that's just the Americanized slang version, sort of how gabagool came about. But dish rag is a mopine, so she calls it a mopine now. When you say, hey, give me that mopine, she knows exactly what you're talking about, beep-a-boop, and she's tossing it over your way. She also doesn't know why, and I haven't been able to ask the mother why yet. And you know what? Again, it's a harmless thing. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to enjoy her saying that because now we all know what it means. When she asked for the mopine, we all know in the junction, it's time to toss this gal a dish rag. Now, this other one, she learned from her mother as a Ute, is that she said Polish people are dumb. Now, we all know that's a generalization and it's not the truth. We also know that historically there have been and still currently are many jokes at the expense of Polish people when it comes to intelligence. The more famous one being the screen door on the Polish submarine. This lady, or this lady now, this woman, as a child, thought that was true, that they were actually stupid, and it wasn't until she was an adult that was just, she was listening to a bunch of jokes and took them as gospel as a kid, which is a dangerous thing to do when you're joking around as an adult in front of children. There is that chance that they don't comprehend that it's a joke, and they take it as serious, and you find yourself in a situation now where you're an inadvertent racist. And this gal is certainly not a racist. In fact, I believe her father is of Polish descent, if I remember correctly. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me. I could be way wrong. But needless to say, that's incorrect. She has since stopped that line of thinking. But the jokes were funny at the time. They probably still are. I don't even remember what else they said. But, yeah, that is something what we call here a harmful thing. So if you're doing something like that, just because your parents do it, I suggest you do that introspective look. You critically analyze. You take the step back and realize I should probably stop doing that or thinking that or saying that. So thank you for your submission. Go Polish. Poland. Go Polish, you idiot. Maybe I'm Polish. All right, moving on over. This guy right here, the Creature. Now, we all know the Creature very well, at least through my Tales of the Dungeon and the time he was a guest, about a year or so ago now. He said that he learned from his parents as a kid to never show emotion to people, to strangers especially, but to most people. And it wasn't like he learned, they didn't teach him to do that. They were just very dry business type people. They still are today. And it took a while for them to sort of break through the shell and open up when I was around them, when we played ball together in college, and the Creature's father would show up to all the games whenever he could to watch us play, or to watch his son play and me sit in the bullpen and talk to him. But it took a while for him to break out and show that little emotion, happiness, joy, anger, whatever it was, emotion. And that's just how he was. He's a guarded guy. Mrs. Creature is a guarded gal, and therefore Creature too is more of an emotionally guarded individual. And there's no other reason why other than he didn't deal with trauma or anything like that, or somebody didn't really break his heart to the point where he shut down like some of us. His parents did it, therefore he has built that shield, onto himself as well. So, very self-actualizing and introspective. Again, that's the buzzword of the day, for him to admit that, identify that as something that he does need to probably get better at. But we know the why behind it all, and it's not really, there's not a lot of rhyme or reason to it, and there is a fix and a way forward for him. So it just takes a while, and that's what happens here sometimes. Sometimes the road to happiness or recovery or less stress or better fitness, it's slow and steady. But the first step to get to that end state is to identify it and make the effort to get better or to change things or whatever, improve things, whatever it might be. So I'm glad he's doing that. All right, we got a couple of hotline calls. The first call to the hotline, I don't know what they are. Hopefully they're answering the question, and they're not. Hopefully they're answering the question here. That they're actually responding to providing the feedback that we asked for here. with this particular topic, and then we can actually, help them out. Again, that's what the point of the hotline is, to call in, provide your feedback, and maybe we can help you out. You can have a little bit more involvement into the show, and everybody's happy and doing their part. So let's take a call right here from this guy.
This is Mike Tyson.
Well, troll. Got it. First call, troll. Didn't see that one coming. So thanks for your time there, buddy. Let's see what else we got. Let's go on to the next caller because we don't want to publicize trolls. We don't want to dox them. We just want to pretend they don't exist because that's what they want. They want the attention. All right, anyway, we'll just keep it going here.
This is dangerous. You're going to get a lot of negative feedback from people who are fans of the Christmas Chronicles, and you don't seem to be a fan of the Christmas Chronicles. I'd watch yourself, Libretti.
All right, well, that's a guy right there who clearly has a problem with me, disregarded the question, still angry about the Christmas movies we talked about. If I remember correctly, that was like 2 years ago, 2 Christmases ago, we talked about the top 5 or whatever movies. So this guy's got a grudge. Thanks for the call, I guess. I don't know. Let's just move on. Maybe this guy's got a valid response to the damn question already. Holy crap. All right, let's see what we got.
Name is James Blank. This is a notification call from our Department of Tax Debt and Financial Settlement Services. They're on new programming.
All right, well, James Blank, everybody. It's got to be a spam call. It can't. I mean, it sounded like the robot CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, everybody's favorite automatron. Somebody please call the hotline, contribute with something of value. This is nice and entertaining, and I got some good, I guess, content, if you will, but I don't need help with tax relief. My taxes are just fine. So thanks, James. Not needed. I am going to be on the lookout for this guy who called about the Christmas Chronicles. If I were to venture a guess, I'd say it's probably the guy on Instagram with the Instagram name of LPD Show Sucks. If I were to venture a guess. And then Mike Tyson, I guess always a pleasure to listen to you. So thank you for that. But guys, call the hotline. I'm going to play most of this crap. So if you have tax advice, if you have warranty information on my vehicle, if my account's being hacked and I need to provide you my account information immediately, call the hotline and we'll air it out for the public consumption. So thank you for the callers. What do I have here for this? I got a bunch of stuff that I do just because my parents do it, and there's really no rhyme or reason, but I don't want to bore you all day with that. I got this giant nose that I saw my dad living with as a kid, so now I got it, no other reason. One thing is my father keeps and wears old clothes. He'll have the same clothes for decades. In fact, he's still got some clothes from high school and college, and he graduated college in 1974, I believe, or 75, something like that. So do the math, 40 plus years, almost 40 full years, and he's still wearing these clothes. So I do the same thing. Now, if we're trying to figure out the why behind it all, it definitely makes sense because if you track back through the annals of history of a JPL3, he was not living high on the hog for most of his, if not all of his adult life. He graduated college. He went to law school right after. Randy is up and about doing Randy things again. But anyway, he was in law school. He was working for Budweiser to help pay the rent. And then he's been a struggling lawyer ever since, buying us powdered milk and getting paid in plumbing services, which was fine for us. We lived that good, tough blue-collar life, and it was great. But he was saving these clothes because he couldn't buy new clothes. He had to buy diapers and sausage and peppers for us and a whole bunch of other things so that we can live, and survive. And he just didn't have the ability to go buy a new wardrobe. So he did that. I saw him do that. Now I still wear clothes from high school. And you see it here on several episodes of the show way back when I first started. I wear high school T-shirts. I wear all those Fred Ill 9/11 Memorial Foundation shirts, the long-sleeve T-shirts. I still wear those all the time. Most of my clothes are still college or high school era attire. I can still fit in it. Nothing's ripped or torn for the most part. Nothing stinks or is stained for the most part. So I'm going to keep it going. I'm saving money. I'm paying off that school debt. Thanks a lot, Embry Riddle. So that's how we get back to the why of that. So it makes sense. It doesn't harm anybody. I don't think any Polish people are stupid because of it. So I'm going to keep going with that until I either make it big or the clothes disintegrate. And some of them have, to be honest. I lost a couple of shirts, in the trenches of warfare, if you will, just because I wore them out. And it does happen, but I'm going to keep it going, not just because my old man does it now, but because I know why my old man did it. And he did it to make the sacrifice to provide for his family, and I will do the same to provide for my dog. So, all right, that's all I got today. That's it. I thought there was going to be more hotline calls. Lucky for us, there was not, because I don't know if I can handle any more trolling for the day, but thank you for the calls. Before we go, though, real quick, the big three, all right? To be a better, a happier, more stress-free person in your life and to spread that to the lives of the others you interact with. Number one, exercise every day. Easiest, most simple thing to do is go for a walk, move your body, burn some calories, exercise every day. It'll improve your life physically, mentally, emotionally. Number two, the hardest one to do, not be a shitty person. Okay? Understand that there are human beings out there who have feelings and lives and struggles similar to yours, and you can't possibly fathom what's going on in their lives without being involved in them, in their lives. Them. That's what I meant by them, is their lives. So understand that before you decide to go be a shitty person, especially online, where you can cowardly send off twits and how you doings and Instagram posts to be an asshole to somebody. Remember that, especially because you know how shitty it feels when people are like that to you and they know nothing about you. So, number three, the most important one, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. Everything you got that's a positive in your life, be thankful for that. Take the step back, take the time to be grateful and thankful for that, as opposed to brushing it off as like I should have all these things. I should have a roof over my head. I should have a toilet. We shouldn't have all this stuff. Okay, we're very lucky that we were born in America, or that our parents immigrated over here, or that we earned it through working out, or whatever we did to get to that. We're lucky we have the lives to be able to do that, because some people don't. Okay, there are plenty of people living with no toilet and no toilet paper, which is a wild thing to think about. So remember those things. Remember the good you have and be grateful for it. Now that's all I got. Done flapping my gills for the day. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget, like and subscribe and comment and thumbs up it and thumbs down it on YouTube's, and write reviews on the Apple iTunes. I read all of them. I am setting up like a giveaway, a tank top giveaway for comments and feedback. We're gonna pick a random. I'm gonna lay out the rules of the road, and I'll post it on the Instagrams and Facebooks and videos and stuff, so that everybody knows what to expect. And then we'll do some sort of like a comment subscription giveaway thing, and you'll get a free tank top out of it. Otherwise, for those people who don't win it, you can still buy it. There's still a couple left that are available for purchase. So hit me up, give me a call, send me a DM. Do what you got to do. If you want a tank top, $30, includes shipping, and we'll take care of you that way. But thank you guys again for everything. I love you all. Stay strong.